Just like we have the 8 wonders of the world, I think it's only fair we make space for the top 10 matches of Cristiano Ronaldo because that's how big he is. So here's my list. Let me know which matches are in yours and which ones you think I should have ranked higher. Let's begin. Okay, this one comes in at number 10. It wasn't a great match to watch, but it was one of Ronaldo's best performances for Portugal. Can you guess? No? It's not Spain 3-3, it's Hungary, the chaotic 3-3 draw in the group stage of Euro 2016. The one where he launched a reporter's mic into a lake on the morning before the match. Yeah, that one. Ronaldo had gone 2 games without a goal. He missed a penalty against Austria. People were calling him Finnish, saying he couldn't carry Portugal anymore. The pressure was suffocating. Portugal was 2 games into the tournament without a win, and one more bad result, and they will be flying back home early. Hungary, on the other hand, were already through, top of the group, confident. They rotated 5 starters and still came to play as if they had something to prove. That match turned into madness. Hungary scored first, Portugal equalized, Hungary scored again, Portugal hit back, and then Hungary scored again. 3 times they took the lead. 3 times Portugal had to drag themselves back. And right in the middle of all that chaos, Ronaldo stood tall. First, a moment of vision, Hungary up 1-0, and just before halftime, Ronaldo split their defense with a perfect through ball.
To hold the attack.
And goals 1-1. Then second half begins. Hungary retake the lead almost instantly. Ronaldo responds with one of the fewest shots of that tournament. Joao Mario fires a cross and Ronaldo backheels it mid-air into the net. It was so cold, the goalkeeper could do nothing other than freeze mid. Hungary makes it 3-2 with another long-range deflection. Again, Portugal needed a response. It came from the air this time. Ricardo Charisma comes on, whipping a dangerous cross, and Ronaldo, timing his leap perfectly, smashes it home with his head. 3-3. He levels it for the 3rd time. 2 goals, 1 assist. All 3 responses came through him. She didn't just keep Portugal in the tournament. Ronaldo made sure the team believed they still belonged there. That match was the turning point. Portugal didn't win that day, but they didn't need to, because they got the point they needed to go through as one of the best 3rd place teams. And from there, they kept surviving all the way to the final. That day, Ronaldo became the first player score in 4 different Euros, 17 total appearances in the competition, another record, and he walked away with man of the match because in that moment, when his team was on the edge, he dragged them back with him. Ready for number 9? Here's my pick. This next match is one that made me proud to be a Ronaldo fan. I once made a video about how when people get told that you can't do something over and over again, the moment they finally do, they puff their chest, not out of arrogance, but just to breathe, to finally take in some air again. There's a moment in this game that captures that feeling exactly. It still gives me goosebumps every single time I rewatch it. Ronaldo scores, then slides on his knees, horning his chest like a gorilla, screaming without words. Yes, it's me. I am the him. And the look on his face, that wasn't joy. That was the kind of anger only a few people will ever understand. Leading into this game, the pressure on Ronaldo was insane. Euro 2012 has started badly for him and for Portugal. They lost 1-0 to Germany, then barely scraped a win past Denmark in a 3-2 victory. And even in that win, Ronaldo missed chances, the kind of misses that make people doubt you. The Danish fans were chanting, "Messi, Messi," at him from the stands. He looked frustrated and lost at times. Meanwhile, he was fresh off a monster season with Real Madrid, 60 goals in all competitions, but none of that mattered if he couldn't show up here. This match was a do or die, a final group game. Portugal had to win or draw depending on other results. The Netherlands, on the other hand, did a 2-goal win to stay alive. They came out swinging. Van de Vaart put them one up early with a beautiful strike. The Dutch had the leading momentum, but Ronaldo reset everything. Joao Pereira spotted his run, played it through, and Cristiano took one touch before passing it past Schellenberg, clean and calm. That was the goal that Portugal level. But more than that, it got Ronaldo back. From that point on, he was everywhere, creating chances, hitting posts, taking 12 shots, just 2 less than the entire Dutch team. He didn't stop, and when the game started to stretch, he killed it off the only way he could. Nani picked up and slid it over. Ronaldo squares up Van de Waal, drops a feint, and then with ice in his veins, places it into the far corner. That second goal sealed the win. Portugal were through. The Netherlands 2010 World Cup finalists were out. Just like that, Ronaldo silenced the crowd. This was the game that changed everything for him in Euro 2012. From that point on, he looked free, focused, like a weight had been lifted. He led Portugal all the way to the semi-final where they went out playing on penalties. But that spark, the one that lit the fire, it started here. Ronaldo was named man of the match, and for good reason. He carried his team through the crook of death, with the world watching and no place to hide.
Grip ball. Ronaldo, he's onside. He's beaten the defence. He draws Valdez. Cristiano Ronaldo with a platinum touch. Grip ball. Ronaldo, he's onside.
I always try to stay clear from conspiracy theories, but at times the evidence is so thick you could cut it with a knife. I mean, why would FIFA ban such an iconic celebration? If you don't know what I'm talking about, this next match is literally the birth of the calma celebration. Barca vs Real Madrid, April 21st, 2012. Venue, Camp Nou. This was not the type of Clásico played by teams like Yamal and Vini Jr. with soft referees. This was when men showed up at the game, betting on who would be first. This was the Clásico that decided the title that season. Real came in with 4 points lead. Barca were chasing, desperate to close the gap with 5 games to go. A win for them would have cut the deficit to 1 point, but if Madrid took it, they would go 7 points clear, basically wrapping the title. The stakes were massive. The tension was. Real had not won the league since 2008. Barca had been dominating everything, La Liga, Champions League, the whole era, and Camp Nou was their fortress. This was also the spotlight moment. Ronaldo vs Messi, Pep vs Mourinho, the 2 biggest clubs in the world, fighting for the crown. Sami Khedira drew first blood. In the 17th minute, after a scramble in the box, he stabbed it in. Real up 1-0, but Barca came back like they usually do. In the 17th minute, Alexis Sanchez scored the equalizer after a chaotic sequence. Camp Nou exploded. The pressure was on again. Momentum swinging, crowd in full voice, and then Cristiano Ronaldo. Messi Ozil picked it up first, finds Ronaldo breaking down the right wing with perfect timing, one clean touch, and Victor Valdez came out rushing. Ronaldo doesn't panic. He runs him like he's Andre Onana, and then rolls the ball into the empty net. And then he turns to the Camp Nou crowd. Thousands of rival fans, now dead silent, both hands out, palms down. Calma, calma, like he was asking 90 people to hush up and take their medicine. That celebration was epic. The only thing missing that day was if Mourinho somehow had power ahead. In the middle of the loudest stadium in Europe, Ronaldo told everyone to relax. With Pep and Barca humiliated, FIFA had no option but to ban the iconic celebration. What a shame. That goal didn't just win the match, they won the league. Real pulled 7 points clear. There was no coming back from that. Mourinho's team went on to hit 100 points that season, breaking the record. For Ronaldo, it was personal. For years, people said Messi always showed up in the big games and Ronaldo didn't. That he went quieter at Camp Nou. That Madrid couldn't shake Barcelona's grip. This man shut all that talk down. Ronaldo scored the winner in the most important Clasico of the season, in their stadium, in front of their fans, and told them all to stay calm. The celebration became a symbol, a meme, a message. It was Cristiano Ronaldo at his most confident. And now, number 7.
Till last week, wouldn't be in range for many, but for this man,
This season wouldn't be complete without Diego Simeone's team showing up. And don't be surprised if they show up again. After all, Atletico have always been Ronaldo's favorite team. What's worse is that their fans never learned to respect the man. Instead, they provoked him, mocked him, and in return, Ronaldo kept pushing the dagger in a little deeper and making sure he twisted it every single time they met. No pun intended. Our next match is no other than Atletico vs Real, April 11, 2012. La Liga was at the boiling point. Mourinho's team were toe-to-toe with Barca, and heading into the Vicente Calderon Stadium, you knew this wasn't going to be a quiet night. Ronaldo, by this point, was on fire, one of the most unstoppable seasons of his career. But in games like this, rev, noise, tension, it wasn't just about stats, it was about moment, and Ronaldo gave them plenty. First came the free kick, 25 minutes in, score still 0-0, a long-range set piece 35 yards out. Ronaldo stepped up, hits it with his trademark tip and venom, and it screams into the top corner. Courtois didn't move. That strike was pure violence, the kind of goal that made kids go straight to the back to try and recreate it. Then Atletico responded. Falcao equalized. The crowd came alive again, and the pressure returned. But Ronaldo wasn't done. He picked up the ball wide on the left, cut inside, nothing fancy, and then pulled the trigger. A corner ball from way outside the box. That second goal deflated Atletico's wheels. You could feel it. They knew it was over. Madrid turned the screw. Calderon added another. Then came the penalty, 83 minutes. Ronaldo stepped up, as always. No nerves, just precision. He sent Courtois the wrong way and completes the hat-trick. 3 goals, 3 defense ties, all brutal. Beyond the goals, he was everywhere, creating spaces, driving the attack. That night was a statement. Real pushed their lead over Barca. They were closing in on the league title, and Ronaldo made sure of it. By the end of that season, they would end Barca's run, and Ronaldo had 46 goals to his name. That night was Ronaldo at full volume, in enemy colors, in enemy territory, and still the loudest man on the pitch. I told you not to be surprised if Atletico showed up again, right? Well, here they are. Number 6 on my list is another one of those nights. Ronaldo vs Atletico, Champions League. And this time, it wasn't just a derby, it was the semi-final. May 2nd, 2017, Santiago Bernabeu. Real vs Atletico for a place in the Champions League final. Again, the same rivalry that had shaped 2 finals in the last 3 years. But this time, there were no medals waiting at the end of the tunnel. This was a fight to even get into the tunnel. Real were the reigning champions. Atletico were desperate, tired of being second best, tired of losing to the same man over and over again. But unfortunately for them, that man was still Cristiano Ronaldo, and he was entering Champions League mode. 10 minutes in, cross from Casemiro. Ronaldo rises above everyone and crashes it into the net with a textbook header. 1-0, and just like that the pressure shifted. Ronaldo didn't even celebrate much. Like he already knew the job wasn't done. Atletico tried, they kept their shape, held the line, tried to slow the game down, but Real had found a rhythm, and Ronaldo was living in their blind spots. Then in the 73rd minute, the moment that blew the whole thing open, Benzema lays it off, Ronaldo steps into it, no touch to settle the ball. He rips it first time, loud, hard and clean, and Oblak turned into a spectacle. That second goal broke Atletico Madrid. They stopped believing, but Ronaldo didn't stop at 2. With 4 minutes left in regulation time, Lucas Vazquez dances down the wing, cuts it back, and guess who's waiting? Cristiano, right place, right time. Like many say, he scores tap-in, but you have to be at the right place at the right time to score those tap-in. Hat-trick complete. That night was pure domination, not just from Real Madrid, but from one man who never let the moment get bigger than him. 3 goals, 3 different finishes, and yet the same story all over again. Atletico had no answer, and deep down, they must have known it was always going to end this way. This was a back-to-back Champions League hat-trick, right after Bayern, and now Atletico. This was Ronaldo rewriting the knockout stage of the Champions League like it was his personal block. Madrid won 3-0. Atletico tried to fight back in the second leg, but the game was already gone. Ronaldo had ripped the door off his hinges in the first leg. That run carried them all the way to the final, La Duodecima, Madrid's 12th Champions League title. Ronaldo scored again in the final. Of course, he did, but it all started here with another derby and another hat-trick against the team that just never seemed to learn. We're into the top 5 now. This next one was very, very personal. For a team that hasn't competed in the Champions League since 2021 and couldn't even make it out of the group stage when they did, you would probably underestimate them now. But back in 2016, that same team were dead set on humiliating Ronaldo and co. If you are still scrambling your brain to try to guess which team I'm talking about, it's Wolfsburg. April 12th, Santiago Bernabeu, Champions League quarter-final second leg, and Real Madrid were hanging on a thread. They had lost the first leg in Germany 2-0. No away goals, no excuses. One of the worst results imaginable. It wasn't just an upset, it was embarrassing. Coming into the second leg, the match was brutal. Madrid needed to win by 3 clear goals to avoid extra time. The crowd was very, very nervous, and all eyes, like always, were on Cristiano Ronaldo. The story goes, he told people before the game, I'm gonna score 3 and we'll go through. And then he walked onto the pitch and backed it all up. 15 minutes in, Carvajal gets a deflected cross into the box. Ronaldo reads it and reacts quicker than anyone and taps it in. 1-0.
Draxler was cut out by Carvajal.
2 minutes later,
He's been able to advance and played in for Cristiano Ronaldo to score.
Glancing header. Goal. Just like that, 2-2 on aggregate, and Peter Drury made sure he put his stamp of approval on that moment of brilliance with this fine commentary. That quick double turn.
Draxler was cut out by Carvajal. He's been able to advance and played in for Cristiano Ronaldo to score.
Both sides had chances.
Draxler was cut out by Carvajal.
Madrid were pushing, but they
been able
needed
to
something
advance.
extra. And in the 77th minute, they got it. A free kick just outside the box. Central clean angle. The moment had set itself up. Ronaldo stepped up. Who else but him? He hit it hard and low. It bent, dipped, and split the Wolfsburg wall into half. The keeper didn't even flinch. 3-0, hat-trick complete, tie flip. That was the turning point for Real Madrid's entire season. They went from tearing down the barrels of elimination into storming into the semi-finals and eventually winning the whole thing. like Desma. But none of that happens without this nine. None of that happens without Cristiano. He didn't just score 3 goals, he carried the pressure and absorbed the fear. Every time Madrid needed something impossible, he gave them something inevitable. This match reminded the world what Ronaldo does when the moment is drowning. He breathes. Here's a hint. There's only one player in the history of football who wasn't born. He gave his parents permission to give birth to him. Did you guess correctly? No? Well, too late. I'm talking about the lion himself, Zlatan. In football, when two great players meet, the story stops being about tactics or formation. It becomes about pride, about who shows up bigger in that moment. This time, it was no different. With a World Cup ticket on the line, it was either going to be Ronaldo or Zlatan. Guess who came out on top? November 19, 2013, Sweden vs Portugal, second leg of the World Cup playoff. Portugal had won the first leg 1-0 in Lisbon, thanks to a Ronaldo goal. But going to Sweden, with that crowd, with that weather, with that man Zlatan looking for revenge, this wasn't over. Sweden needed a 2-0 win to go through. And you could feel it. This game had no room for passengers. Early in the second half draw, Moutinho cut through the midfield and traced a perfect ball forward. Ronaldo times his run like a surgeon. Left foot, bottom corner.
Oh, what a beautiful ball!
Portugal go
Now
up
it's
2-0
Cristiano
on aggregate.
Ronaldo with
Sweden
a
now
chance
has
maybe to seal
to
it,
score 3
and he
goals to
has
qualify,
taken it.
and somehow Zlatan made it feel possible. 68 minutes, he rises for a corner and hammers it with his head. 4 minutes later, he lines up a free kick and buries it low and hard. Sweden lead 2-0 on the night. One more goal and Portugal were out. And then, the silence. The silence just before something changes. Portugal break again. Ball falls to Ronaldo. Another run. Another left-footed finish into the bottom corner. It's 2-2. And the life drains out of Sweden and their crowd. 2 minutes later,
Who can break
over.
again?
One
Can he
more
kill
time,
the Swedish
Ronaldo
dream?
collects it
He
around
has
the
done,
keeper
surely.
and blasts it into the roof of the net. Hat-trick. 3-2 Portugal, 4-2 on aggregate. Game done. World Cup ticket booked. Zlatan had 2 goals, but Ronaldo had 3. And in the world of football, that's all that matters. It doesn't matter if it was a tap-in
Trick.
or a header.
He has written his name all over this tie, and there is no doubt now he's paved their path to Rio.
After that performance, Ronaldo walked into the 2014 Ballon d'Or ceremony and left no doubt. This was the match that snapped Messi's 4-year run. This was the match that reminded everyone. Pressure didn't shrink him, it sharpens him. Ronaldo walked into Sweden, scored 3 goals, and left with the ticket and the crown. Now number 3. This one came with 6 apps and 5 games off. Now, this next match is the match that makes me think of getting a 6-pack. Don't ask me if I have them right now. It was one of those Cristiano Ronaldo games. To top it off, it was a Clasico. And in the previous Clasico, Messi had not only stunned the Bernabeu, he had taken off his shirt and lifted it high enough for the whole stadium to reach his name. Messi is usually thought of as this humble small man, but that day, he made sure the world knew who he was, as if they had forgotten. But this next Clasico, it was Ronaldo's turn to remind them. And you know Ronaldo, he never passes up an opportunity like that. Not only did he come prepared for the Clasico, he came with a tan and made sure his abs were as chiseled as possible. Any bells ringing yet? Well, this is the game I'm talking about. Supercopa 2017 first leg, Camp Nou. Real Madrid had just come off a ridiculous season. La Liga and Champions League double. Barca were starting life without Neymar. New manager, new system, same rival. And here came Ronaldo. He didn't start. He was subbed on in the 58th minute. But those next 20 minutes, he caused absolute chaos. The game was already 1-1. Piqué had scored an own goal. Messi equalized from the penalty spot, but once Ronaldo came on, the whole mood changed. 80th minute, Ronaldo received the ball wide on the left. One-on-one with PK. Step over, space created, and then bang!
Has Cristiano Ronaldo still got the legs? Yes, look at it fly. Moves inside Ronaldo!
Just like Messi only this
Cristiano Ronaldo!
time, he went down in the box after contact with Umtiti. The referee didn't hesitate. Second yellow, red card, and then Ronaldo snapped. He shoved the ref in the back. Just one push, but enough to earn a 5-match ban. 1 for the red, 4 for the shove. From glory to exhaustion in under 120 seconds. Real still went on to win 3-1, with Asensio scoring a rocket to finish it off. They won the second leg too, and lifted the Supercopa easily. But that 20-minute stretch from Ronaldo was everything. The perfect goal, the perfect celebration, then the most ridiculous Ronaldo exit possible. Frustrated, shirtless, suspended, and unforgettable. He left his mark, literally and figuratively. And even after the ban, he came back and made sure the season still ended with silver. This match was drama, dominance, and defense all packed into one short, fury appearance. This next match for number 2 needs no build up. Just look it up yourself. You know, Juventus is one unfortunate club. They were so unfortunate the legend Buffon had to resign and join PSG just to try and win the Champions League. All in a large part because of one man, Cristiano Ronaldo. And unlike Atletico and Barca, Ronaldo didn't even necessarily have bad blood with Juventus. He was just doing what he does best. If you know where I'm going with this, raise your hand. Yes, that famous night. The one where Zidane forgot he had no hair. The bicycle kick. My God, what a thing of beauty. 2.4 meters up in the air. A strike so precise it would put Pythagoras to shame. This is perhaps the most iconic goal of Cristiano Ronaldo's career. April 3rd, 2018. Allianz Stadium, Champions League quarter-final, Juventus vs Real Madrid. This wasn't revenge or rivalry. This was just business. Juventus wanted redemption for the final they lost the year before. Madrid were chasing their 3rd straight Champions League. 3 minutes in, Isco slides in a low cross. Ronaldo gets ahead of defenders and flicks his pass with the outside of his boot. Just like that, it's 1-0. Juventus were stumped. Madrid settled. But then, minute 64, Dani Carvajal sends in the cross from the right. The ball is far behind Ronaldo. Too upward to volley, too far to head. So he goes for something else. He adjusts his body, lifts into the air, legs folding mid-flight, and hit one of the cleanest bicycle kicks the ball has ever seen. The ball smashes into the bottom corner. Buffon doesn't move, not because he couldn't, but because he knew it was pointless. And then the unthinkable happened. The Juventus crowd stands, they applaud, a full standing ovation for a man who just buried them. Even Ronaldo looks surprised. Later he caught one of the most emotional moments of his career. Shortly after, Paulo Dybala sees for game flips away completely, and to make it worse, Ronaldo lays on the assist of Marcelo, Madrid 3-0, away from home, tie basically over. Juve did try to fight back in the second leg, but it didn't matter. This night, this moment was untouchable. That goal won UEFA goal of the season that year. It's still one of the most watched clips in football history. More than anything, it reminded everyone, Cristiano Ronaldo doesn't just score goals, he scores moments. Moments you remember for the rest of your life. Moments that make you hold a breath and watch rival fans clap. Moments that make grown defenders freeze. And sometimes moments that make you think just about anything is possible. And not to forget, moments that make you think about getting abs. Now, we are down to number 1, or maybe number ones. Truth is, I couldn't split these two games. I've tried again and again, but the truth is that they both sit on top of the pie for different reasons. So let's just call this number 1A. And I'm pretty sure by the time you are done watching, you won't be able to pick one either. That night, Portuguese fans gathered around a giant screen in the heart of Lisbon. The city square was packed, the air thick with hope, and that hope rested on one man. Some people remember this night as the worst in David De Gea's career. But for those of us who were watching closely, there was absolutely nothing he could do about that free kick. Yes, I'm talking about the famous Ronaldo hat-trick against none other than Spain. This was the opening match for Portugal and Spain at the 2018 FIFA World Cup, and it came with all the fireworks you could expect. Spain had just sacked their coach 2 days before kickoff, and with Julian Lopetegui gone, Fernando Hierro was suddenly trusted in charge. It was chaos. Portugal, on the other hand, were calm on paper, reigning European champions, and a steady squad, but all eyes were still on one player, the 33-year-old Ronaldo. He had just won another Champions League, still carrying Portugal, and if you know anything about Ronaldo's relationship with the media, you will know that he was still being doubted. Just a quick fact. Do you know that Ronaldo scored more hat-tricks after the age of 30 than he did before? That's 36 hat-tricks after the age of 30. 6 more. Anyways, back to the topic. Spain versus Portugal. World Cup opener. And Ronaldo delivered. First goal, 40 minutes. Ronaldo ends the penalty. Bears 1-0 Portugal. Then Spain equalized. But just before the half, Ronaldo fires one for outside the box. David De Gea fumbles it.
Portugal retake the lead.
2-1 Portugal. But Spain comes back storming. Diego Costa scores again. Then Nacho lashes one off the post. 3-2 Spain. But in minute 88, free kick, 25 yards out, game hanging in the balance. Ronaldo steps up like he's done 1,000 times before, but this time it's different. He curls it perfectly over the wall and into the top corner. De Gea didn't even move. It was one of the most iconic goals of his career, one of the most clutch moments in World Cup history.
Guerrero there was window dressing.
Penalty, left foot, and that unstoppable free kick. That match had everything: tension, pressure, drama, but more than anything, it had Ronaldo in full command of the moment at 33 against Spain in a World Cup opener. And if that wasn't a wonder match, I don't know what is.
And the stage was set.
Now let's move on to the second half of our deadlock. Number 1B. If number 1A was for the nation, number 1B was for the crown, La Decima. If you had been inside the Real Madrid box on that night, you would never in a million years have guessed they would leave the stadium victorious. And yes, of course, it's our favorite club, Atletico again. They are back, and this time with a special note from UEFA and FIFA. Take a guess what FIFA wrote on that note. It looked like a poem, but it wasn't. It was a short inscription that read, "Do everything possible to prevent Ronaldo and Co from achieving La Decima." This was the game after which the famous Real Madrid anthem was released. The 2014 Champions League final, Real Madrid vs Atletico, Estadio de los Lisbon. Atletico had just shocked Spain by winning La Liga. Now they wanted a double, while Real was chasing their 10th European title, La Decima. 12 years of heartbreak, 12 years of rebuilding, and obsession all boiled down to this moment. Diego Godin scored in the 36th minute. After that, Atletico defended like gladiators. Minutes ticked by, still 1-0. The hour died down to minutes, the minutes died down to seconds, and then 90 plus 3. Luka Modric sweep in a corner. Sergio Ramos rises like a savior. Boom! Header. The stadium erupted. Atletico collapsed. Extra time started, and the floodgates opened. Bale scored the goal ahead in 110 minutes. Marcelo made it 3-1 in the 118 minutes. And in the final minute, who else but Ronaldo? Fouled by Gabi. Penalty given. He stepped up, hamstring bandage, barely standing. still sent it home 4-1, and then ripped off his shirt, flexed in front of the camera, and let out every scream from every year of chasing that title. This was finally the moment.
بالرابع
The moment
للريال.
when
هاي
all
الكرة
the
اكسترا
to
تايم
achieve,
الثاني. بالرابع
and the dream
للريال.
just came
هاي
alive.
الكرة اكسترا تايم الثاني.
This was not one of Ronaldo's best matches physically. He was injured and clearly playing through pain, but symbolically it was everything. He finished that Champions League campaign with 17 goals, a record, and more importantly, he helped Real Madrid cross the line they had not touched in 12 years. La Decima wasn't just a trophy, it was a breakthrough. It was the beginning of a dynasty. Okay, here's a twist. Have you ever watched On Back? I don't remember which part in particular, but do you remember how he thought he had beaten all the fighters up to number 01, only to find out that the top of the food chain was actually number 00? Well, there's one game that stands above all. For me, this is the Mount Rushmore of Ronaldo performances. Let me ask you a question. Will you say it's a coincidence that the very night Ronaldo was given a standing ovation by Juventus fans, their president woke up from his dream and decided, this is it, bring Mr. Champions League to Torre? I don't think so. But that one decision, it caused more division than a bad VAR call in extra time. See, I had passively been a Juventus fan, mostly because of the fun and a little because of the Dybala. But when Ronaldo moved there, it split my loyalty clean in three: 75% Real, 20% Juventus, and 5% others. Please don't ask me what the other clubs are. It's complicated. You want to cause a meltdown on the famous black and white Juventus blog? Just say his name, Ronaldo. Why the controversy, you may ask? Two reasons. Some fans believe his arrival bankrupted the club. Add COVID on top, no tickets, no revenue, no midfield upgrades, no refresh of the BBC backline. The other half of the Juventus fan hate him for what he did to them years prior to his arrival. Final hat tricks, denied all big years, but for one night, every Juventus fans were united. They were all jubilating because that night Juventus stabbed Atletico in the heart with Ronaldo's dagger. Oh, so you thought I was just so boxing? You thought that was the last time we would see Atletico on the list, right? Nope, they are back. But this time Ronaldo wasn't wearing white. And this wasn't just a comeback. It was the comeback, the one where Diego Simeone joked he would sell watermelons on the street if the scoreline was reversed. Well, I hope he found a good spot. And now for the story of how Simeone ended up selling watermelons on the street of Madrid. It was Champions League round of 16, second leg, Juventus vs Atletico. First leg, Atletico dominated 2-0. No away goals, the tie looked over. Most Juventus fans thought they were done for. But Ronaldo, he had other plans. First goal, 27 minutes. Bernardeschi's cross. Ronaldo outjumps everyone. Downward header, 1-0. Second, 49 minutes. Joao Cancelo's cross. Another towering header. Goal line technology confirms, 2-0. And finally, 86 minutes. Bernardeschi brought down. Penalty given. Ronaldo steps up. Bottom corner, hat-trick completed. Juventus 3-0, 3-1 aggregate. Ronaldo was everywhere that night, pressing, calling for the ball, driving forward. He took 9 shots that night. He owned the occasion, and after that third goal, he turned to the fans, hit the Simeone celebration right back at them. The fine that followed didn't matter because Ronaldo had given the world yet another commanding performance. It was vengeance. It was the moment Juventus fans truly believed they had found their Champions League messiah. I for one still believe, till this day, that Ronaldo not winning a Champions League with Juventus is even sadder than him not winning the World Cup before he retires. And Juventus board is part to blame for this, for not replacing the aging backline and the midfield. to accommodate Ronaldo in his aging days. This game for me is number 00 because everything else feels like a highlight reel, but this one was a movie. And there you have it, guys. 10 wonder matches. Were technically 11 or 12, but who's counting? Some of these games gave me goosebumps. Some made me laugh. Others made me question if Ronaldo was even human. But of all of them, they reminded me why I still love this game. Whether you agree with the other or not, if you have made it this far, then you already get it. This isn't just about stats or trophy. It's about the nights you can still feel in your bones, the ones that made you jump off the couch or argue with your friends or rewind the replay 10 times because it didn't seem real. That's what these wonder matches are for me. Let me know which ones made your list, and if I missed any that should have been there, I'll be in the comments. Thanks for watching, and please do not forget to check out our video on how to get yourself unstuck. It's just 5 minutes long, but you will not regret watching it. See you again next time.
ممكن يرتب بها اموره المدرب يوفنتوس تورينو ماسيميليانو أليجري. كرة من هنالك محاولة المرور والتوغل، كرة